So if you haven't been living under a rock or you watched my last Persona video, you know we're finally getting a Persona 4 remake, and now it's been officially revealed by Atlus as Persona 4 Revival. While we don't know much about it outside the name, as someone said, the reveal was basically just to say it exists. We can speculate and go over what we already know about the game, including when it might release and what features it might have that makes it different from the original. That's what we'll discuss in this video. I have an announcement. We have a brand new Patreon for members of the channel. So if you guys want to support the channel and support me going full-time with content creation, you can go over to the Patreon, and there is one tier for $5. Your subscription will help me make faster content and better content because I have more time here to do this and less time spending at my job. So if you want to support the channel, feel free to donate on the Patreon. Link is in the description below. Thank you so much. Your donation is appreciated. And now back to the video. So in my last video, we went over rumors and leaks regarding the upcoming Persona 4 remake that is in the works, and now it's finally here with the reveal teaser for officially named Persona 4 Revival. Since the teaser was very short, let's go through the info that we have so far and discuss what led up to the announcement and what we could see as we get more information down the line. So as far as we know, the Persona 4 remake is now titled Persona 4 Revival and was revealed at this year's Xbox Game Showcase with a 40-second teaser trailer. 40 seconds. That's all we got. Really, Atlus?
How the fuck would you show me something if I couldn't have it then?
But did you know that the reveal was actually leaked a few days before the Xbox Game Showcase? We actually got information from a couple different news outlets that the announcement was coming days prior. According to Windows Central, in an article on June 6th, the news of Persona 4 remake being shown at Xbox Game Showcase was initially reported by an article on the news site MP First from June 5th, where they stated, a source familiar with the situation has confirmed to MP First today that Persona 4 remake will be revealed at Xbox Game Showcase on June 8th. It's planned for release on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, though we failed to get confirmation if there's also a Switch 2 version releasing simultaneously. Michael Holgun and the notable Jez Corden, who we've mentioned on the channel before, from Windows Central, obtained info to corroborate that story from their own sources. Those articles from both MP First and Windows Central essentially all but confirmed that the announcement was going to happen during the showcase. Both Windows Central and MP First also went on to say that they expect the remake to come with quality of life changes and features akin to what we saw in Persona 3 Reload, which is to be expected. So we could see notable changes like an overhaul to the battle system or fatigue system changes from P3R, and even things like an engine upgrade. Some other confirmations came from a bit of controversy, as some of the original voice actors tweeted about Atlus not allowing them to reprise their roles for P4R. This started with Yosuke's voice actor Yuri Lowenthal, the GOAT, tweeting, "And for those who keep asking, no, I will not be returning as Yosuke for the Persona 4 remake. I asked, I maybe even begged, but they don't want me to come back." This is later followed up by Chie's voice actor Erin Fitzgerald also confirming that she will not be reprising her role, as well as Yukiko's voice actor Amanda Wynn Lee sharing the same sentiment, which sucks because now we gotta deal with a whole new voice cast. And I know, it's good to give other people an opportunity, but still, we want to hear the GOATs voicing their lines, bro. We want to hear the same voice actors, but it's all right at the end of the day. From those tweets, it might be safe to assume that we'll have an entirely new voice cast for P4R similar to P3R. Let's hope the community doesn't bully the new voice acting cast if this is true and try to compare performances. That stuff is just toxic and unwarranted, and I genuinely hope that if a new voice cast is chosen, they'll perform well in the game. The Persona community already has a bad rep from the gooners.
Please, 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 please! I'll make you learn nice and easy. What is she about to do to me? What is she about to do to me? Yes, come on, please. I've been waiting for this my entire fucking life. I need this shit. Come on, come on.
Let's not make it worse by harassing the new voice guys. So now that we know the game exists, when could it release? We've gotten info recently that shows us exactly when P4R will release, and it might be a little bit disappointing, so hold on. This info comes from Sega Sammy's latest financial report, which tells us that P4R won't be expected to release until fiscal year 2027. That means we won't get the game until at least April 1st of 2026, or maybe even later potentially. While this is unfortunate, there could be reasons for this. It could. Some think we're going to be getting P4R later than expected because Atlus is also working on Persona 6 at the same time. We can only hope. But on top of that, the 30th anniversary of the Persona series is coming up in 2026. and the outlets along with the Persona community believe we could get an announcement for Persona 6 along with more info and a release for P4R. I think this is a logical way for Atlus to drop the announcement since nothing else has been announced for the anniversary. This will be the only huge announcement that can make sense for something like 30th anniversary, unless they just give us new key art and that's all, which in that case I'll be pulling up to Atlus's headquarters for a mean fade. I'm talking straight hands like Steve from Tekken type of hands. So we covered the info leading up to and post reveal. But one question that lingers in my mind is if the game will be $80. If you weren't aware, Microsoft did confirm about 2 months ago that some of their games will now be $80 starting later this year. And we got the first implementation of that with the Outer Worlds 2 being announced to be $80 later this year. Though we won't know the release date of Persona 4's remake, what we do know is that Persona 3 Reload released as a $70 full price title. Since P3R was full priced, will Microsoft make this remake $80 to commit to their $80 games plan? It would be super unfortunate if it does happen this way. I think this could turn off a lot of fans that were waiting for the game to release, and with the backlash that Nintendo is getting for their Mario Kart World pricing, I could see an $80 Persona 4 remake as a marketing blunder on Microsoft's part. Or it could just be a way to make Game Pass more appealing because we can more than likely expect P4R to hit Game Pass day one. Persona is a beloved series and Persona 4 is probably most fans' favorite entry, so pricing this one at $80 just doesn't seem right to me, especially if the value isn't there. One thing that made P3R a little different was the inclusion of DLC, which included cosmetic items, personas, music, and most notably Episode Aegis, which implemented the Answer expansion from Persona 3 Fez. Since Persona 4 doesn't have DLC, this could deter Microsoft and Atlus from making it an $80 game, but only time will tell. With that being said, if you like Persona or other RPGs, check out this video about 5 RPGs that you should keep an eye on for this year. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.